Hi ladies. Okay, let me just make sure that it's on. All right, hopefully some ladies will join me. So I'm just gonna hang out and wait for a minute and see if anybody pops in and joins me. I'm excited. There's somebody. Once you join in, if you could give me a thumbs up or comment for me so I can see who's here. Up, the little eyeballs are moving. Yay! All right, I see ladies coming. Awesome, thank you. Hi, Heather. Okay, so I'm just going to wait a minute or two so that I can give everybody a chance to kind of get on with us. I know there's a couple ladies on. Hello. So I'm just going to give everybody a chance to join. I always try to be on time, so I know that that doesn't always work for everybody. So hopefully we'll get some more ladies to chime in and watch us. Hello. So if you just joined, if you could just pop me a little comment, some little thumbs up, show me some love, it helps. Hi, Jane. Hello. Yay. Awesome, thank you. So I'm going to wait maybe like one more minute and then I'll get started just to kind of give some ladies a chance to join in. But Jane, thank you so much for asking me to share with everybody. It's super exciting for me. It's kind of a whirlwind, so I appreciate you very much. Awesome. Okay, so just going to wait just a couple more seconds and then I'll get started. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to share some bullet points and I'll elaborate just a little bit, but there's so much that I could share. I could probably talk for 2 hours, so I won't do that. I won't do that to you guys, but I have a lot that I could share that hopefully will help everybody. So I'm just going to get started and then we will post this in Jules with Jane, and you guys can obviously watch this on the replay too. So my name is Joelle Alex, and obviously I'm with Premier. I live in the Chicagoland area and I've been with Premier for 5 years, and I just started doing Facebook Live shows this this past January when they announced it at Rally, and it has been really, really exciting. I have been kind of a slow and steady girl. I mean, when I first started, my calendar was booming, and then it kind of leveled off, and I kind of just took it as, you know what, this is where I'm supposed to be, which was kind of cool. And then they announced this new option for us, and I kind of took it and ran with it, and have been helping my team, and that was kind of what the initial intention was, is to really kind of hone our skills with my team. That's when I started that Facebook Live practice group, and it has kind of blossomed into something so much more, and it's just so much fun. So thank you guys for joining. I'm super excited to share some tips with you guys. I have to tell you, Jane, thank you so much, by the way, like super exciting and like totally incredibly honored to even be on your radar at all. I gotta tell you. So thank you so much for, just for reaching out and letting me do this for everybody. But it was really hard for me to come up with a condensed list of tips because there's a lot. I have to say that, I just completed my 250th show. Super excited about that. And the home show experience, although it is similar in content, it's a completely different feel than a Facebook Live show. And what I usually tell the girls on my team is although the Facebook Live is a great option, I really don't want them to start their business off focusing strictly on Facebook Live, because I think you really need to learn how to connect face-to-face with people. And that is really how you're able to still book shows through Facebook Live. I've sponsored through Facebook Live. And without that experience of interacting face-to-face, one-on-one at a home show with people, I don't think that it's as easy to learn that through Facebook Live sitting here talking to yourself. So that's just one of my personal tips that I like to give to my actual team, is that I really would like them to do their quick start in actual home shows first, and then delve into Facebook Live as an additional option to supplement their shows. Now, I'm not going to lie, right now, probably 90% of my shows are Facebook Live, just because I'm booking so many of them that I don't have a whole lot of extra time for the actual home shows right now. Although I don't decline doing home shows, It's just kind of where my business is kind of taking itself right now, and I'm just going to let it happen because it's working. And I think that we would be fools to pass up an opportunity that is working for us, and this might be my path for a while, and I'm okay with that. As long as it's working, why question it, right? So I'm going to get to some of the tips that I have. You might want to take notes on these because I think that it's important. And another thing is, ladies, I love you all so much, and thank you all for reaching out to me privately and in the group, the Facebook Live practice group. You're all so sweet, and you're all so patient with me. I answer everybody, sometimes not immediately because I do have a day job as well. I have a full-time day job as well in addition to this. So sometimes I can't answer you immediately, but thank you for being patient, and you're all very kind, and I appreciate it very, very much. Thank you, Tammy. My Premier Mom is on here, Tammy O'Connor. Hello. So I just wanted to, send a little shout out to all the ladies who are patient and who are working your businesses and really trying to learn a new way to serve our customers and our hostesses, because that's what it's about. It's not about us. It's about how can we connect with more women across the country. And now that Premier is allowing us to do that, we'd be fools not to take advantage of this, right? So I'm going to share the things with you that are just working for me. This doesn't mean it's right. Doesn't mean it's wrong. It's just what's working for me. And I'm hoping that some of these things you can incorporate into your business, and maybe it'll help you too, okay? So first and foremost, we need to properly prepare our hostess, always. You are going to treat your Facebook Live hostess like you do a regular home show hostess. She has to have a hostess packet. How are you going to give her the opportunity to earn those the outside order bonus if you don't send her a hostess packet? She needs a catalog in her hand so she can pass it around. Remember, not everybody's on Facebook, so it's important that she has an actual hostess packet in her hand. I will tell you, I send it priority. I know that it's a little bit more money to do that, and there's options. You don't have to send it priority. I just like to make sure that it gets there, and I can get tracking on it, and it gets there in like 2 days, because when I book my Facebook Live parties, unless I don't have a slot for them, I require them to book it within the first 2 weeks of when they booked it. So if this was a Facebook Live party right now and somebody booked with me, I would give them a date within the first 2 weeks. So when we're in the process of picking, when they tell me that they want to host a show, I say, okay, how does June 2nd work for you? I don't say, what day of the week works for you? I don't do that. I give them my first available date, and unless they have something scheduled that night, they say, yep, I'll take it. Or if they say they can't, I give them the very next date. I don't really ask what date works, because the reality is this is a much more simple process for them. They do not have to leave their home. So unless they are not going to be home, any date that I give them, as long as they're home, should be okay. So we want to treat them as a regular hostess. Now, obviously, you could do like a FaceTime call if you wanted to, or actually call them on the phone. But the reality for me is most of these women I have just met through a show. They might have placed an order, they might not have. Sometimes they don't. They just book a show, and that's okay. So I don't have that personal relationship yet with them. So I want to make sure that they get all the information that they need in my hostess packet to start off, okay? So I know that you're going to ask, so I'm going to tell you what I put in my hostess packets, and this is what I've always put in them. It's what I put in my home show packets and my Facebook Live packets. Everybody gets the same thing because they're all a hostess. So they all get catalogs. I only give them one of each. That's what they get. They get one of each. And then they also get a spreadsheet of my very first 10 home shows, because I want them to see the potential of what the business is starting out fresh. And then I also give them a little sheet of information about Premier. It's kind of like a synopsis of why Premier is so awesome. And then I also give them basically kind of like a homemade customer receipt, because I don't want to send them the carbon ones because I'm not going to end up getting those back. So I basically recreated a customer order form as a Word doc, and then I send them that, and I let them know that they can make copies. I also include in there a wish list for them, a hostess wish list, because they're going to need that. I want them to write down all the things that they love and that they want. And I also put in there the little pamphlet that Premier gives to us. In fact, I think I have one right here. Let me check. I should have had this prepared for you guys. I'm sorry. and I do not have one here. But the little pamphlet that Premier gives us about the opportunity, I include that in there as well, because I want them to, I'm treating them as a regular hostess. They might be interested, and as I said, I have sponsored through Facebook Live, so do not shortchange yourself by just sending them one catalog. It's not enough. You got to treat them as a regular hostess. So treat them like a regular hostess, send them a hostess packet. So if you're not doing that and you're wondering why your sales might be a little bit lower than you want them to be, that might be one of the things. Also too, I need to address this right here. Facebook Live shows are kind of like this. It's a very fickle land. So you might have $1,000 Facebook Live show, and I've had everything from an $1,100 down to $100.04, like she just qualified. So it is not the same as a home show when it comes to collecting orders. So I have a lot of ladies reach out and say, oh my gosh, I'm having all these shows and I'm not getting any orders. Well, my first question is usually, did you send them a hostess packet? Because when I have a show that is really, really low in sales, I will immediately turn to, you need to start collecting your outside orders so that you can get your hostess benefits, because she needs to know that she can't get anything unless we at least get $100 in orders. So we want her to work with us. Okay, so don't beat yourself up if your sales are really low. I mean, some of them are just low. You might have 50 people show up on the invite that they're coming, 5 show up, and there's no orders. That's not, I have a hair on my face, I can feel it. That's not uncommon, so do not beat yourself up over it. It happens to everybody, okay? So the next thing is we want to encourage her to use a checklist. And another thing that I put in my hostess packet just for my Facebook Live ladies is a Facebook Live hostess checklist. I created this in a Word doc. When I first started doing these, I wasn't really as organized as I should have been, because I really wasn't expecting it to bloom like it or blossom like it did. And I was kind of doing one thing at a time. I was like, okay, I want her to know this, and I want her to know this. And I was kind of just popping little messages to her individually, which was fine. It was working. But for me, I was like, I have 8 hostesses at once. Did I send her this? Did I send her that? I can't remember. So now they all have a checklist, and they all know what they need to do to help their show be more successful. Okay, and I can post that in here as well for you ladies. It's just a regular Word doc, but it's all of the things that I want them to do to help me and make their show successful, because I'm going to show the jewelry, and the jewelry is beautiful, but if they're not present, that's a huge thing. Okay, and I'm going to get into that in a second, but we want them to use a checklist, and it literally goes through everything. As far as, you just got a hostess packet, I want you to open it and start sharing the catalog. Simple as that, right? And then I also, on there's things like, I'm going to send you a graphic that I want you to send to your friends. The ladies who RSVP yes, I want you to remind them the day of the show, things like that. So it's to help them keep up to date of what I need them to do, okay? Another thing that goes with that is to send the graphics out, and I want them to personally invite the ladies that, oh, look at all those hearts, Erica, mwah. I want them to personally invite the ladies that they know that are on their friend list that are really fashion forward, or that they know love jewelry. I want them to personally send out this little graphic invitation that says, it's not a party if you're not there, I'm having a Premier Designs party. It's just something that I created. You can make your own. I posted it in the, I think I posted a, like an unpersonalized one in the Facebook Live practice group that I have. So if you would like that, if you want to be added to that, by the way, you'll want to let me know that, and I'll mention that at the end again too. But you want to send that to her to remind her to send that out to all the ladies that she knows are fashion forward or that are really love jewelry, so that they're getting a personal invite instead of just a regular Facebook invitation, okay? Another thing is I also include a graphic for them to send out the day of the show to the ladies who have RSVP'd yes or maybe, because we have to remember that this is important to us, but as a guest to the show, it's not at the top of their importance list, okay? They're probably not writing it in their calendar that, ooh, I have to go to, Maria's Facebook Live party tonight at home. I have to log in. It's probably not happening. So this is a little reminder, since they're friends with her, they're not friends with us yet most of the time, we want her to send out this little graphic that says, hey girl, I'm having that party tonight. Don't forget to log in on time. I start on time. I'm never late. Knock on wood, I'm always on time. So we want to make sure that they're on time too, so that we can get started and get through the presentation. So hostess interaction is hugely important. It is probably one of the most important things that contributes to the success of a Facebook Live show. I have had shows where only 5 people showed up, and it was still like a $600 show. And then I've had other ones where 25 people said they were showing up, and it was $100 in sales because the hostess did nothing. And unfortunately, we can't force it on them, but we want to encourage them and let them know that if they interact, and that's also on that checklist of what I need them to do. It's very descriptive. Like, I need you to like everything I post on the event. I need you to comment. I need you to throw up some likes. I need you to post pictures of your favorite things once in a while so that their friends are seeing their post come up, because their friends know them. Their friends don't know us yet. Okay, so we want them to see that the hostess is excited. And if the hostess is excited, they're more apt to attend. If the hostess does nothing, they don't even know what they're coming to at this point. Okay, so the hostess interaction is very, very important. It's extremely important. You need to really encourage that. Girl, I need your support with this. The more support I have from you, the more interacting that you do on your show, the better chances you have of having it be success. Okay. Another thing is we need to make sure that the hostess, this is going to sound silly, but trust me, it's happened, and that's why it's on my list. We need to make sure that the hostess is available and present at the time, at the start of the show. So for example, if it was a 7 o'clock, I generally do 7 o'clock. I'm Chicago, so I'm Central Standard Time. I generally will do 7 o'clock Central Standard Time because it gives me a chance to get home from my day job, make dinner, freshen up, get my jewelry set up, get my area ready, and I don't want to be rushing like, hi girls, like I just walked in. I want to be calm, I want to be pulled together, and I want to look like I'm ready for them. So I usually do 7 o'clock Central Standard Time. That's usually what works for me. You want to make sure that she's home and that she's available and that she is planning on logging in. There are going to be times where she's like, oh, sorry, I'm not going to be able to make it on time. And then I usually will say, because it's going to happen to you and you're going to go, oh, what do I do? I will usually say, well, hey girl, what time do you think you're going to be home? As a half an hour work, I can post a little cute graphic that says, we're starting 30 minutes late. Although I know that some people might not agree with that, I really want her there. I can do it without her, but I want her there. I want her interacting and saying, hey, Kelly, did you see that cashmere necklace? Do you love it? Oh, Jane, that ring reminds me of something you would totally wear. We want her there to interact with us, okay? So it's important. So if she says, no, I'm totally not going to make it, I kind of just roll with it. And I just say, oh, hopefully she'll make it in time. And then I just go. because we don't have all night, right? So those are a couple things that I think are really important when it comes to the hostess. That was a lot of things in like number 1, but it was like 5 things in number 1. So the hostess interaction and dealing with the hostess packet, all super, super important with the success of your show. Another thing, kind of number 2-ish, but it's down on the list, so we're just not even gonna, we're not gonna number anything at this point. Keep your posts simple, okay? What I usually do is my very first post is a picture of the hostess, and because they might know 4 Kellys or they might know 6 Kellys, and they might say, well, which Kelly is this? I want them to start the show off. And I also want to point out really quickly, side note, I did not create all these things on my own. I'm smart enough to know to follow the people who are doing a great job with this. Brandy Lynn, I've followed a lot of things she does. Tracy Ebert, I follow a lot of things she does. Jane, I follow you ladies, and I pick and choose little things that I know that are kind of things that are me, would work for me, and I pull from those. So a lot of these ideas aren't even my ideas. They're just things that I've kind of worked into my show, and I'm just continuing to use that system because it's working for me. So I like to post the very first picture of the hostess and say, let's show her some love, so that it really kind of starts the show off with love. And that's important because it's giving her some compliments, which we all love compliments, and it's also letting her friends, giving them a chance to really tell her something they really like about her that, normally they're not going to just post in a row, hey girl, I love your style, or I love your heart. That's not always going to happen. So, hold on one second here. I just noticed that. Give me 1 second, ladies. I just noticed that my low battery light came on, and I'm not quite sure why. So I really hope that my battery does not die on me. I'm plugged in. Give me 1 second. This is so not how I would want to be doing this, but I want to make sure that I'm plugged in. Hold on 1 second. Technical difficulties, ladies. It's part of the job when you've got Facebook. Okay, so I'm plugged in. I don't know why it's telling me low battery. But anyways, so yes. So that is one of the things that I would definitely do is post something about, loving on the hostess. Okay. I only post maybe 1 to 2 things a day because I do not want to overwhelm them. I post simple things, little surveys. I want to know who I'm dealing with when I'm going to be partying with them. Are these ladies who, they all love earrings, and I'm going to try to focus a little bit on earrings in my posts. Another thing is I do not post a link to my catalog until after I've done my live presentation. Now, a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, why? Because the catalog can't show them what I can show them that the line can do. I want them to log in. And if I post the catalog, they're going to go flip, 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 flip on their phone and go, okay, I've seen it all. I don't need to see what she has to say. No, they do need to see what we have to say. We want them to log in because it's important for them to see what the line can do. The catalog is beautiful, but it can't show them what we can show them. So I don't even post that. And when I have people say, is there a link to a catalog? Where's the catalog link? I will say, I'll private message you, Kelly. And then I'll go and I'll private message her and say, here's a link to the catalog if you'd like to look at it. But just so you know, I'm going to do a really awesome presentation, and you'll want to come back so that you can see what the line can do. I do it privately because I don't want the whole party then to see this link to the catalog. Does that make sense? Okay. So another thing that is really, really important, and I think we either don't pay any attention to it or we over obsess about it, is lighting. Lighting is hugely important. If they can't see the jewelry, they're not going to buy it. So you have to have good lighting so that they can see what they're looking at, right? You have to invest in good lighting. Now, lighting, when I say invest in good lighting, that does not mean go out and spend $200 on, a ring light, although I really want one of those. Buffy Hood, brilliant, love her so much. She posted in the Jewelers Only page. It was a link on eBay, and I can post it in this as well. I'm sure it's already on here, but just so that it's brought back up. It was like $35, I think, and it came, I have it in the room with me. It's 2 umbrellas, big lamps, and the stands and everything. It is a brilliant setup for the cost. Well worth it. You need good lighting. Okay. Another thing that I want to point out is your audience is usually going to buy what you show. So be mindful of what you show. I personally keep my price point in my mind when I'm showing, and I kind of show the same things at every single show because I know how long it takes me. I know that I'm gonna, what I show with what, and I also want to make sure that I'm showing enough of each metal tone. I personally, I kind of do the same presentation that I do at my home shows. I know everybody kind of experiments and does different things, but for me, this is what works. So this is what I just continue to do. I don't want to reinvent anything. I don't want to mess with what's working. So I just show metal tones. I start off with gold. Then I talk, now we can't use the flip chart, which my team does. It's just too hard to make them read paper. So I will show gold, and then as I'm putting silver on her, which is my next metal tone, I talk about the golden guarantee. So I get that in. And then I will show silver, and then as I'm putting hematite on her, I will talk about the opportunity. And then after I'm done with hematite and I'm putting on a last couple little necklaces that they can earn for free if they host, I talk about the hostess plan. So I fit all of the things in that I need to about Premier within my show, in between my segments. When I'm showing looks, I make sure that I complete the look. So always complete the look. You always want to show a necklace, earrings, bracelets. I always show multiple because if they like bracelets like me, they want it to look like this. Show a complete bracelet set, a couple rings, and a watch. Watches are $100. We need to be showing those. Okay, so I do that with every look, and I do about 2 to 3 necklaces per metal tone, and I go pretty quick. I don't spout prices. I don't put page numbers or anything like that. I just tell them the name of it, and I move pretty quickly through it so that we can get through the whole thing. Okay, so be mindful of what you're showing, and that will help your retail, hopefully. I don't show any like $20 little petite necklaces or anything like that because we want our retail to be higher, and I also try to show pieces that are really versatile. I don't show pieces once in a while. I mean, when I start, I will generally wear the Shoreline necklace because it's a statement necklace. It shows really well on camera, and it's $67. So I want them to be staring at it for an hour and love it and have to buy it. So I think of things like that too. Another thing is I always offer an individualized sale to each customer. So when I'm done with my presentation at the very end, I'll say, okay, ladies, when you're ready to place your order, you're going to private message me. And also to make sure that you friend me so that I get that message right away. And you're going to private message me with what your order is. And then I'm going to let you know what your individualized sale is. Because everybody gets a sale tonight. And I say it just like that every single time. And then what they'll do is they will send me their order right away. And then I'll say, oh, you qualify for 2 additional items at 25% off. Even if Premier has a promotion that they have qualified for, I'll wait till they qualify for the promotion, and then I'll say, girl, you qualify for 2 more items at 25% off. Oh, okay, let me go shopping again. And they do. So make sure that you're offering a sale. It's really important, okay? Another thing is, this is a really, really big deal, and I don't think enough people think about it just because we just think it's only for the hostess. Make sure the hostess is using all of her half-price items. It's important. Although we don't make any actual income on those, it raises your retail, it gets her more free, and it makes everybody happy. So what I will say is, okay, Betty, you're getting 8 items at half price. And she's like, oh, I only need 2. So then what I'll do is I'll make sure everybody has done ordering, and I will go on to the event, and I'll say, holy camole, Betty, she got so much free jewelry that she's going to give some of her hostess benefits to you guys. She loves you so much, she's going to share it with you. She is giving you guys 6 of her half-price items. They're up for grabs. First come, first serve. Now, we know that we could sell 10 of those if we want to, right? So if I have ladies that are just like, boom, 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 I want 4 of them, I want 3 of them, I'm not going to tell them that there's only 6. Like, I'll let them use more if I really needed to, because we can do that, right? So I want to make sure that we get those half-price items used. Most of the time, they all get used. Sometimes none of them get used, and that just happens. But a lot of times, they all get used up from the hostess offering them to other people, okay? The last thing I want to share with you, and this is the most important. This is the most important. You have to practice. You have to practice. Please do not wing it, because it won't work as well as you want it to, and then you'll be discouraged. That is the whole reason why I made that Facebook Live group, because I know how I am. I'm very, very, picky on how I'm looking and what I'm saying and certain things like that. And, am I showing the jewelry right? Can they even hear me? I needed a place to practice that was a safe place so that I didn't have to kind of do that and kind of do a bad job in front of my customers. So that Facebook Live practice group is for us. It's so we have a practice place, a safe place to practice, so that we can get the tools that we need, but we can also get in there and say, okay, is my lighting okay, ladies? Somebody jump on and tell me, is my lighting okay? And we'll move the lighting, and someone will say, nope, turn it the other way, or put it up higher, and we're helping each other, and that's the whole point, and it's so, so amazing. I love that group of women so much. So you have to practice. You have to practice how you sound. You have to practice the volume. You have to practice showing the jewelry and getting it to focus in front of the camera. Little things like that are super, super important, though. You wouldn't even think like, well, I know how to show jewelry, but do you know how to show jewelry in front of your phone? It's different, right? So these are some of my tips. I mean, I have probably a mile long list worth that I could continue to share, but these were the main ones that really kind of stuck out to me, that I knew that for ladies who are brand new, or even that they're seasoned, there might be a couple things that you could incorporate into your, your regular show that you're doing now that might even, might help you boost your sales. Because I know that a lot of people are struggling with the retail on their Facebook Live parties right now. But you know what? Remember that it's kind of the time. Remember the J months are sometimes hard. So there's, people are saving up for graduation parties and weddings and vacations. So don't beat yourself up. Just know that if you do an entire presentation and you get 0 sales, you still got practice. I know it's not the same, but you still got practice. You have to find the silver lining, okay? And let me just see if there's anything on here that I should be answering really quickly. Oh my God, there's lots of comments. Okay, I'm going to post the things that I promised I would post as far as the hostess checklist. I'll post that for you guys. I will also post the graphics that I send to my hostesses to remind them about to send to their guests to get them involved. And hopefully, if there's anything else that I forgot to mention, or if you have any questions, you're always Can we ask you questions? Yes, ask me questions. By all means, ask me questions. Okay, I'm reading as I'm going. You guys are so sweet, all these hearts. So that's another thing too, is I always ask my guests, while I'm talking, can you please, pop me up some little hearts and some thumbs up, because it really does help the energy of the show, because otherwise I'm just sitting here talking to myself. So it does help to have them interact as much as possible, because all the little hearts and stuff, we know how that makes us feel, right? Tell them, do you get bookings? Yeah, what do I do to get bookings? Okay. What I do to get bookings, because we can't do games per se, well, you probably could, but I don't. I haven't found a way to do it, because sometimes there's only one person or two people present and they watch it on the replay. So what I do is, and I know this isn't going to be like earth-shattering, I do it at checkout. Just like when you're at a regular home show and you do it at checkout, that's how I get my bookings. I do offer them an incentive if they book a show with me, if they book their own Facebook Live, which, little side note to that as well, I don't do Facebook Live shows for my local girls. This is only for ladies who are out of my state. The only time that I will do it for a local girl is if she has rescheduled on me twice. Then I suggest it. Girl, let's do a Facebook Live party, because I'm like, man, she keeps taking my Friday night. So at that point, I will suggest it. Otherwise, my Facebook Live shows are Monday through Thursday, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. I don't do them on the weekends, and I don't do them on Sundays, because nobody wants to be on Facebook, on the internet, for an hour. Oh, by the way, my show's about an hour. I can't do it any less. I tried, and I feel like I cut stuff out that is important. So for me, that's when I do them. And what I will do is I offer either the Blessed necklace, the Psalm necklace, or the To the Moon and Back necklace as an incentive from me as a gift if they book a show. Now, that it has to qualify as a show, and for me personally, the bonus gift, I require a minimum retail of $250. That's just what I require. Obviously, if it's a $100 show, and I'm giving them a $50 necklace, even though I'm getting it at cost, we're in this business to make money too, and they all understand that. Nobody has given me any grief about it whatsoever. When they reach out to me with their order, if I have a girl, even if they get one thing, I say, what do you think about having your own girls' party? Your own style show. I mean, I always say it's typing it, so it's a little bit different than how I'm verbalizing it, but, what do you think about having your own, jewelry style show? It's so much fun. It's so easy. So all you have to do is add your friends. I literally do all the work, which is pretty true. And they either say, I'll think about it, or they reach out to me sometimes and go, I want to host a show for Maria. Okay, this is the first day to have available. I'll take it. If they send me an order that is this long, I'm like, girl, you need to have a show so that you can get some of your wish list for free. Most of the time, they're like, yeah, I do. How do you let them know you're requiring of $250? I just tell them. In order to get hostess benefits from Premier, it needs to be a $100 minimum, and in order to get the bonus gift from me, the retail needs to be $250, because it is a gift that I pay for. And they're like, okay, no problem. I mean, they're not, you know what I mean? Like, they're understanding of the fact that we do this to make money too. So I don't say, well, girl, I'm not going to lose money. You have to find the right words to use because you're typing it. But it's an extra bonus gift from me. And I tell them, they all know that right away. And if they don't qualify for it, that's another incentive. I'm like, girl, you're at $200. If you get $50 more in orders, you get that bonus gift. And that helps too. That helps raise the retail there too. But I do most of my bookings I get at checkout. So when they message me, I will, obviously let them know that, you should host a show. You get either one of those necklaces. You could get either one of those necklaces for free, plus all of the free, jewelry from Premier. It's a really great time. It's a great way to earn some free jewelry. Another thing is I will post in there and remind them that if 3 of them book, the hostess will get, I usually will ask the hostess to send me her top 5 favorite pieces, and then I pick a $50 one, and then I talk about that. It's usually something, I pick one of the ones that's something I show usually, it's around $50, and I'll say, and don't forget, if 3 of you book your own party, Amy's going to get the Slinky bracelet for free as one of her bonus gifts. So I tie the bonus into an item so that they can kind of visualize what she might get for free if they book a show. And that kind of inspires her to say, yeah, Christine, book a show. Girl, I know you love jewelry, and Leah, book a show. And so it's getting the hostess to kind of help you, because we don't know them. You know, it's not at a home show where we can say, girl, your style is so cute, you totally need to have a show. We're literally looking at a little bubble, so we don't know what their style is, right? So we want the hostess to kind of help us, which I do that at my home shows too. I get the hostess to kind of help me. But here it's really important because we don't know anybody's situation. We don't know. So it's a good thing to kind of, you know, get your hostess on board with that. Another thing that I want to mention too is, because I'm sure that somebody might ask how I have sponsored through Facebook Live. One of the things on my hostess checklist is I have a VIP group. So I have a Premier Joelle Alex page, and then I have a personal page that's just my personal page. And then within my Premier page, I have a VIP group that is only for customers and hostesses. I did my own live OP presentation on there, and I sponsored 3 ladies through that, just from that alone. And what I do now is when I send the hostess her checklist, one of the things on there is that she needs to go to the VIP page, which I have added her to, and watch that OP video. And then she needs to come back to me with either 3 questions or 3 of her favorite things that she heard about Premier. It's pretty great idea, because they're all getting an OP then, and it's me. So it's me talking to them. So I know exactly what they're hearing every time, which is, oh, it's been like, you all need to do that. You really need to do that. So they're all getting that OP, right? Somebody else asked me, what's your average retail for Facebook Live parties? My average retail right now is probably about $400 to $500 per Facebook Live party. I have had some $1,100, $1,200 ones, and like I said, I've had some that are literally she just made it just by the skin of her teeth. I made a group because of you. Yes, it's important to have a group because you want a place that your customers and hostesses can really feel special. I do not randomly add people to my VIP group. I ask people if they want to be included, because I think it's important that I don't like just being added to random groups. That to me is a total turnoff. So don't assume that everybody that you come in contact with wants to be part of your VIP groups if you have them. That's just my opinion. I'm basing that on how I feel when I get added. I'm like, oh my gosh, if I get added to another random group that I didn't ask to be added to, it just makes me crazy. So I will post on my wall, if you're not part of and I call mine my VIB group, VIB, do you feel like you are still tweaking and learning Facebook Live show? Always, yes. I'm still learning. Sometimes I'm like, oh, it's not really working for me right now. You know, I need to change my lighting, or I need to work on, you know, where I'm standing in the room, or the pieces that I'm showing. I haven't sold one of these yet. So I kind of will tweak it that way. And as far as what I'm sharing, it just kind of rolls off my tongue now. It really is very natural. But as far as I'm always learning stuff. That's why I'm always watching all of you guys. I'm wanting to learn stuff from all the you know, the top retailers and stuff. It's important. And I want to mention something that I'm pretty proud of. I'm not boasting by any means, but I want you to know the potential of the Facebook Live party, because when I first started doing Premier 5 years ago, the OP video is on your VIP group. Yes, it's in my VIP group, so it's in a contained space. Okay. Like I said, I was doing 6 to 8 shows a month, and I was rocking it. And then my business leveled off, and I was doing more like 2 to 4 shows a month. And I was okay with, I wanted it to be stronger, but I was kind of okay with that. And I want to point out that I actively work my business a lot. You need to be posting on your page all the time. They need to know that you sell Premier, right? So once this came out, it just kind of really blossomed for me, and I made the top 500 doing only Facebook Live shows. I made the top 500, and every show I did during those 2 months was Facebook Live. I seriously, when I saw my name, I was, oh my gosh, I'm still beaming because of it, because I can't believe that I was able to do that. I mean, so there is potential here, ladies. You have to remember that you're able to serve your hostesses and your guests across the country. And that's one of the things I share with them. I'm like, I'm so excited. Like, I'm in Chicago, and Jane's, you know, in this state, and Mary's in that state, and we're all over the place, but we're partying together. It's not the same. We know that, but you got to make it exciting for them so that they want to party with you. Another thing that I do to get bookings, and didn't have this written down, but as I was getting ready, I thought about it, and I just forgot to write it back down. You need to be posting on your wall to offer Facebook Live shows to your out-of-state customers. So I'm going to post another one tonight because it's been a while since I've done this, but I will post a picture of the Psalm necklace, and I'll say, I'll pick a state that I haven't partied in yet, and I'll say, where's my, the first girl from Montana, whatever, to claim this gets it for free. Private message me, and then someone will say, I want it, and they'll message me, and I'll say, girl, you're going to get this for free if you host a Premier Designs jewelry party, blah, blah, and then I'll kind of reel her in a little bit that way. So be creative with your marketing, because you have to remember that not everybody knows what we do. We know what we do, but does everybody you know what you do? Not all the time. And if you're not reminding them of that, they might not remember. You got to get out of the mindset that you're bothering people. You have to really get out of that mindset. I think especially for new jewelers and with this Facebook Live option now, people are like, how often should I be asking people? Should I be reaching out to people? Yes, you absolutely should. Get out of the mindset that you're bothering people. We have a valuable product. It's a gorgeous product that is incredibly made. The company is incredible. They stand by the product. Our hostess plan is unmatched. The opportunity is just ridiculously, adds so much value to your life. If you're not sharing it, you're being selfish, because there's women that need Premier in their life. So we need to be asking people to host, because they're going to see the potential. When we talk about that we make 50%. I've done a lot of Facebook Live parties for other direct saleswomen, and let me tell you, they love their job, but as soon as they hear me say, girls, I make 50%. So if this is a $1,000 party, I'm going to make $500. Or if this is a $500 party, I'm going to make $250. And I'm in my office, and I don't even have shoes and socks on. I actually say that jokingly because I want them to know that I'm in the comfort of my home, and I'm still going to make $250. Now, there's not many other direct sales companies that can offer what Premier offers us. They might make a good, percentage, but they have quotas. And I always make sure that I say, as a regular jewelry lady, as a regular jeweler, because as a leader, we do have a little bit of a requirement, right? But as a regular jeweler, they don't. They can do as much or as little as they want and still make their 50%. So it's important that you're sharing that. Women need to know. There's stay-at-home moms. There's brand new moms. There's women who just lost their jobs. There's people that are literally just making ends meet. So we really need to be sharing that. So kind of side note, completely off the Facebook Live thing, but you have an attentive audience, and you have a video that is going to play on that event, and those women are going to watch it at their leisure, and they're going to be at home, and they're going to go, wow, I can't pay my electric bill tonight, and then they're going to see you say, I make 50%. So if I sell a $50 necklace, I get paid $25, and I get paid on the spot. Like, you have to tell them that. We need to be telling them that. So that is how I'm sponsoring too, because I'm really very active about sharing the opportunity as well. So let me see if there's any other questions that I need to check here really quick. Challenge everyone to do a Facebook Live show before the end of the month. They can do it. Yes, I actually challenge. I do that in the VIP or in the live group too as well. I say I challenge you guys, and then I'll do a little prize, and I'll just pick a prize and give somebody a pack of catalogs or something. But I absolutely challenge you all. I absolutely challenge you. And my biggest thing I want to share right now is that if you're not in some sort of, because I'm sure that my practice group is not the only one. I'm sure there's several out there. But if you're not in a Facebook Live practice group, you need to get in one right away. And if you want to be in the one that I have, I will post, I think I can post a link to it or something like that. My only request, because I have about 28 requests on it right now, I only want it to be full of jewelers, of Premier jewelers. And I honestly, because I'm a busy girl, I don't have time to stalk your Facebook pages to make sure you're a jeweler. So when you request to be added, you have to actually request to be added, and then you need to private message me and send me your jeweler number, just so that I have confirmation that you're a jeweler. Because honestly, ladies, I want you all to be in it, but I don't have the time to confirm and call, message you and ask you if you're a jeweler. It's time consuming. So I do have it limited so that you can't just be added immediately, because I've had a lot of really interesting people request to be added. So we don't want that. But I will post a link so that you guys can request to be added if you'd like. And I will also post the information that I said that I would share with y'all. But thank you so much. I had so much fun. I really enjoy this. It's something that I just feel like God put this in my path, and I'm meant to share about this. I am, and I feel like I'm at the right place at the right time, and I'm really, really enjoying it. And I'm hoping to God that everything that I'm sharing is helping at least someone a little bit, because I really do care. I really want us all to succeed, because there's plenty of business for everybody out there, and you really, really need to tap into this market. You have friends across the country that you can serve through Premier Now. So thank you so much. I love all of you, and I'm sure I'll be hearing from some of you at some point, but I'll post all the information. And Jane, thank you so much. You're amazing. I am super, super honored. So I feel very blessed that you actually asked me to do this. So thank you so much. Thank you, ladies. Thanks, Tammy. I will talk to y'all soon. Bye-bye now.